Now, of course, it would be silly for me to assume I know how all Manchester United fans feel, but from the ones I've spoken to, my mates, and what I've seen online, there's a lot of frustration and anger coming from the United fans because they lost 1-0 to Chelsea away before a final. Now, I want to get into it today. Of course, Rasmus Hojlund dropped a stinker. It's a huge problem, the striker position, and yeah, he looked really bad. Fortunately for me as a Chelsea fan. But yeah, like there were two very different approaches with the Europa League finalists yesterday, and Ange Postecoglou rotating his side massively away at Villa, getting dunked on 2-0, you know, bound to happen for the reserves, the second team. Not embarrassing, a very meh result, you know. Manchester United went strong. They played pretty much everyone in the first team away at Chelsea and lost narrowly 1-0 to a team in Chelsea who are not, you know, of course, chasing Champions League and currently sit not just in the top 5, but the top 4. I know it's very tight up there, but yeah, top 4 team who's, you know, quite good Chelsea. Chelsea have got a lot of problems, trust me. Don't I know? I cover it for a living. But still, Manchester United are just hovering above the relegation zone. They've had a dismal season. They genuinely, and listen to this, genuinely might not make 40 points. And I'm going to say the line. This is Manchester United we're talking about. They might not make 40 points. So yeah, it's a catastrophe. The season. It's mental. I know, I feel like we're all losing our minds just saying the same stuff over and over, but it is mental. Like, it is mental. Like, Spurs, they have the big stadium, they have the training facilities, they've got a lot of money, they're a well-run club, yada, yada, yada. But it's still Spurs. Like, you know, they've can be bad. Manchester United. Anyway, look, we're going to get into it today. I want to speak about it. I'll speak a bit about Rasmus. Why they've suddenly lost it at the Chelsea game. I'm also finding myself aligning with Mark Goldbridge, which is a rarity. Guys, but welcome back to the channel, Football Yannick. Of course, there is daily content uploaded on this channel here for your pleasure. If you enjoy it, then it's for your pleasure. I would thank you, as always, for supporting the content. You can support me by liking this video. And if you find yourself coming back, or you think you might dig it, or are interested in my commentary on football, then please do subscribe and hit the bell notifications icon so you get notified when I upload. Right, look, so there is a big fallout here. Like, I was chatting to 3 of my mates yesterday on the WhatsApp over the game. Like I said before, I'm a 36-year-old male from the south. Well, it doesn't matter what gender I am, from the south of England. So all my friends are Man United fans, and they were all miserable. And I was thinking, what? Like, Amorim came out after the game, again, a narrow 1-0 loss. Then look, Chelsea were the better team statistically in the game. We were fighting for our lives. It was the biggest game of the season for us. And then it was like a fitness exercise. Amorim's taking a very different approach to Postecoglou before the final. He's trying to keep players match sharp. And you'd argue he achieved that. No injuries. They all played a contested game away at Chelsea against a side that was desperate to win. They didn't get battered. They nearly scored a goal themselves from a narrow offside, and they learned a little bit about the players. Like, surely he can't start Rasmus Hojlund in the final. It gave him a chance there to get some confidence. So he would have learned a little bit about the players, and he would, get them to have a bit of a competitive match sharpness. Because, Postecoglou's bet might fail. His team wouldn't have played competitively together like the first choices for a little while before the final, yeah? So it's very, very interesting, the two approaches. And Amorim will make an argument that his experiment succeeded. Like, no injuries. They, tasted an away atmosphere. They keep match sharp. They'll want to bounce back after like a loss that they feel like a game they were in. Rather than, Spurs whose players just didn't play. No, and again, he would have learned... What if he thought, like, he's been chatting to Rasmus recently? He's like, yeah, maybe his attitude's been good. Maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's the guy for the final. Let's just test him at Chelsea first. Okay, he's dropped an absolute stinker here. No. No. So there is an argument that Amorim's like, yeah, success, But Man United fans are choosing, a lot of them, again, I'm not going to paint all the fans with one brush, it's silly. But a lot of them are like, this is like the final straw. I was like, what? What about losing to West Ham 2-0, who are also in the race to try and get to 17th? You know, like, why? I know there's Chelsea versus Man United. Maybe there's a little bit of underlying thing here because we had an exact identical record, Chelsea versus Manchester United in the Premier League era, which actually, because Chelsea have always played really well against United, like, you know, pre-Abramovich as well. In the 90s, Chelsea had a great record against Man United. Alex Ferguson always used to talk about it, like little Zola used to give him so much grief. So this is the one win that tips it in our balance, but they've had Chelsea's number for a while, Man United. They've become like, I know it's a bit weird saying Man United are a bogey team, but they have been a bit like that. I just find it very peculiar how you've been awful all season and away at Chelsea, a 1-0 loss away at Chelsea, who's like now in the top 4. Again, not even top 4, I'm not wrong. We could all change. We could finish like 7th or something. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. It's very, very peculiar. I do want to speak a little bit about Rasmus Hojlund then, because he looks, I mean, I do kind of feel bad for him. I know it's very hard to feel bad for a footballer who earns millions of pounds playing for the biggest club in England, yada, yada, yada. But it was, he was the worst player on the pitch by some distance. And this is Manchester United's apparent starting striker. He completed 11 passes. He didn't complete any dribbles. He went in for 6 ground duels. And won none of them, 0 out of 6. He lost possession 13 times, which is mental considering you make 11 passes. You lose possession twice more than that. And aerial duels, he won 2 out of 5 and committed 2 fouls. It was really bad. I do feel bad for him because there's moments in this game where players are running through and he's there as a pass. Players don't pass him the ball. And I kind of understand why when he's performing like that, because they feel like, oh, there's better options here. But it just compounds and exacerbates the situation. You know, but 80 million euros this guy cost. It's not his fault. It's Manchester United's fault. They shouldn't have bought him. He did all right for Atalanta. I think he got 10 Premier League goals last season in his first season. I think they all came bunched up together, which kind of skews the optics a little bit. But, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, like 10 Premier League goals. I don't think he wouldn't have been on pens either, because that would be Bruno Fernandes. So that's not the end of the world. I mean, he's got 10 goals for Man United this season across all competitions. So 4 in the Premier League in 1,932 minutes. So that is a goal every nearly 500 minutes per goal. It's really bad, obviously. He has got 6 goals in the Europa League in 926 minutes, which is decent return. It's not great, but it's obviously a much lower level because somehow Man United are in the final. He's only 22, Rasmus Hojlund, but one thing's for sure, it's not like Man United are bad. You know, Memphis Depay, Di Maria, whoever, you know, pick a player that's a good player that does well elsewhere, McTominay, whatever. It seems like actually, no, he's just playing really badly. He's completely shot of confidence and he can't do anything like right. Obviously, he's a good footballer because, firstly, he somehow commanded, I mean, it's like Anthony as well. I mean, Anthony, there you go, there's another one. He's absolutely like, I'm scared of Anthony in the Europa Conference League final because he's just winning man of the match and scoring stoppage time worldies, winners every game. But he's another example of someone away from Man United. But Rasmus Hojlund, like, yeah, he's Atalanta, my mob, Chelsea, we looked at him. A few other clubs looked at him. And as soon as they said a big fee, we were like, no. But there's clearly something about his profile as a striker that people thought, yeah, there's not many of these guys around. But I tell you what, he needs to get out of Man United. No matter what happens in the final, even if he scores the winner, I think he should go on a loan somewhere, because they won't be able to sell him because they'll make a massive loss. A massive loss. If he costs them 80 million, what's it like? Who's paying what for Rasmus Hojlund now? Like, genuinely, watching his performances, 4 goals in the leagues, and, you know, worst player on the pitch. Like, if you've got 30 million to spend, you don't spend it on him. I'm not trying to like make him feel bad. This is he could get his value way back up again, and clearly there's a good football here. And you know, I'm always mindful of content creators. Like, you played the game, I played the game. I've had a kick about my mates in the park. I'm still allowed an opinion on football that I watch every day, and I'm sure I share it with many people. But what I see with my eyes, him versus other players, it's really worrying. And I do have sympathy for the lad because clearly he's got a high ceiling, or you know, was highly rated when being profiled by potential buyers. He should go back to City A, score goals again, and then probably get a move away from Man United. And then Man United obviously looking at a striker. It is reported that Liam Delap is interested in Man United. Of course, Chelsea looking at him as well, and other clubs as well, and Bayern Munich maybe. Apparently he wants to go back up to Manchester. Obviously, he was at the City Academy, and he wants to go back up near from where he's from. I don't think he's from Manchester, but, you know, he wants to get back up north, which fair enough. And that he'd be way better. But I get it. I digress slightly on Hojlund. Look, Manchester United fans, you've been bad all season. Let's just remind ourselves in the Premier League table, because we know. I mean, I know they got 39 points because that's insane. 39 points, one ahead of Tottenham and 38. Both of them got one game left. Man United's remaining game is at home against Villa. Now, of course, this will be after the cup final. It can go both ways, can't it? Because if they've won the cup final, it could be party time. They'll parade the trophy around, final home game of the season, good vibes, and that might lift them to win the game. They might have been partying and celebrating, so they play poorly. Or what if they lose and the season's over and they're miserable and they're like, we got to give the fans something. This final game, you know, it's been a disaster. Let's get over 40 points. Let's just give them a performance against a very good Aston Villa team. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I'm hoping they do that. I can't necessarily see it, but I reckon there'll be a talk in the dressing room like, you just got to do it. You've got to get a point here, get to 40 points, because it's insane. It's mental. Yeah, so I wanted to speak about that because I found it very interesting, the fallout after a 1-0 loss away at Chelsea. It's like, you know, 39 points all season. You've got 18 losses. Tottenham have 21 losses. Absolutely insane. 18 losses in the league and a minus 12 goal difference. A minus 12 goal difference. Tottenham underneath them was a +2. That's a 14 goal difference swing. That's incredible. Anyway, we're nearing the end now. We're in the end game now. What do you guys think? Why now? Why this particular game? Is it just Chelsea? It's not even like Liverpool or City or anything. It's Chelsea. Like, you know, the youngest Chelsea team with a new manager, Maresca. It's not even like, you know, it's not. I don't know why they're. If we lost to them, we'd be like, well, you're awful. This is a really bad look for us. But I don't know. I'm really confused why this is the particular game where so many of them got frustrated. I know it's just before a final, but like I said, it's by one goal. It was a really great moment from Reece James. They now already had an offside with Maguire. The players will be match sharp. They got no injuries. Take it and run. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thank you as always for supporting the content. There's probably going to be another upload on this channel today, often multiple. So thank you for liking and subscribing. I do hope to see you back here soon. Peace.